Morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Local BizCast. I am Dr. Pete. With me, Russ Di Lauri, Modern Patrol Methods.
Yes, sir.
Welcome, buddy.
Thank you.
This is not too early for you, is it?
No, this is not too early.
The people out there won't know. We could say it's like in the middle of the night right now, and they wouldn't have any idea by the time this comes up over there. So
Awesome.
yeah, welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, we have been growing this channel. It's actually been growing. How about us? Congratulate me. Come on, pat on the back.
Dr. Pete.
But ladies and gentlemen, I need your help. So if you don't mind, if you could please, and even ask all your friends, family, co-workers, and even enemies if they'd like to. That's fine with me too. Head over to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube. That's the one we want to grow. YouTube. Go over LocalBizCast, LocalBiz cast. That's all one word. Hit like, hit subscribe, and come join our fun over here. Let me tell you. If you want to get on the Local BizCast, if you have a small business, if you're an entrepreneur trying to open up a business, if you are an influencer, we want you on here. We want to hear about your story, want to hear about your journey. So go ahead and contact me either at Local BizCast or at the Dr. Pete on Instagram, or drpete at shcnj.com is my email. Or as I always say, just follow the loud voice because you can hear me from everywhere. All right, enough business for now, though. Ladies and gentlemen, Russ Di Lauri, welcome. Modern Patrol Methods. Dude, I've seen your stuff. Like, you put it all on. I love it. You got the black Jeep. You got the black, the green. Yeah. It's like tactical. Is that a good word? Tactical?
Yeah, I think
sounds awesome,
that's pretty good,
dude.
I think that's pretty good.
Man, I mean, all right, we got to find out what Modern Patrol Methods is, but we are going to go and we got to rewind. Because I want to know. You're growing up in Jersey. I know that you're a Morris County guy.
Yeah. Exactly.
I need to know how you got from there to what you're doing right now, because you've had a freaking journey. But tell us about Modern Patrol Methods first, though.
So Modern Patrol Methods, what it is we are teaching law enforcement officers how to use technology to fight crime. Technology and data, because right now what we're seeing, or what I'm seeing in law enforcement, and how I found a need for this type of training course, was that technology is almost outpassing the training that's available.
That makes sense.
So we need something that is advanced, that is broken down, that a body camera is used to show officers in real time. Okay, this is some data that we have on crime going in our community. This is some intelligence that we have. These are some programs that we can utilize. Well, how do we apply this live? And what makes our company different is that we're going to provide those real life situations, and we're going to break them down in a classroom for police officers to understand and show them how to use some of these applications.
Very cool. I'm thinking of some kind of like Tom Cruise, ultra futuristic, like you've got like the TV screens and Oculus, and you're like moving parts over here and everything like that. I mean,
that's where it's going. I mean, honestly, it's like Minority Report.
That's the one I was thinking of. That's exactly the one I was thinking of, man.
Nobody wants to arrest somebody before they commit a crime.
No,
in a sense of like, someone just showing up your house.
Pre-crime unit. Yeah, PCU.
You're gonna create you're going to cause a crime in like 3 days from now. Like, no, it's nothing like that. But it's futuristic in the way of how you're able to put yourself in the right position or the right time frame based on the data and the technology to intercept a possible crime in action.
How much easier it is to absolutely do that. Just the fact that you're there where they wanted to be, they're like, damn, we ain't doing this now. And there you go. So crime prevention at its best.
Crime prevention, community safety, and it's a combined effort. It's not just the law enforcement side of things of just getting this training or using these applications. It's also a community effort. It's how do you build partnerships within your community to make, if you have a real-time crime center, to make that effective. To make information available to officers in real time by partnering with local businesses who have surveillance cameras and Nest cameras. There's just so much out there that law enforcement can be more a part of, and I'm just trying to open the eyes of the patrolman. So this is really
feet on the ground, starting like right there.
Right there. Yep. Because a lot of crimes are solved by patrolmen. A lot of big crimes, and it's because of data or something that they accumulated on the street through a parking ticket or a contact with somebody, and where is all that information going? How do I access it, and how do I fight crime better?
Oh man, that's so cool, and that goes for even a small, sleepy little town like ours to
Absolutely.
where you came from.
Yes, sir.
Where you started your law enforcement career. That ain't no small town, let me tell you. So, all right, let's rewind a little bit. Morris County guy. I believe your family went into all different types of law stuff, right?
Yes. My brother's an attorney.
There you go.
Interesting dinner conversations. Growing up, me wanting to be a police officer, my brother wanting to be an attorney. We would always go tit for tat on what was legal, what the law says. But he was pretty much the golden boy growing up. So
give a little shout out to the brother over there, little golden boy.
Di Lauri and Hewitt Law Group. Shout out to them. That's my brother's law firm with his partner. But
he's not on the segment over here. We're gonna delete that off of here, man. You want to get promotion? You come down to the podcast.
Rob, you got to come on.
Is he local? Where's he at?
LocalBizCast. He's out of Morristown. So.
Morristown. That ain't that local. Whatever.
All
right.
We'll see. I'll pull some strings. I know the host.
You might know some people.
But so my brother really didn't pave the way for me. So I took on the troublemaker role being young, and I think that helped me in my job as a law enforcement officer, because as I was young growing up, I had to deceive my parents, right? I had to, where are you going tonight? What are you doing? And I'd always have to. These little.
We're going to cleaning club. We're going to knitting club.
We're going to go read books tonight.
At 2 o'clock in the morning. Yes, that's the only time the knitting club person can do it.
Exactly.
So, here's your scarf.
Exactly. So because of that, I kind of had to take on this troublemaker role, but, never really got into anything serious, but it definitely helped me, I believe, in my law enforcement career. I think a lot of police officers, I don't know the percentage, but a good amount have, dabbled that line a little bit in their life, and that kind of gives them a better position when they're on the job, because then they can see it from two sides of the
They're more empathetic. They understand the point of view, what's going on. And I'm sure that's much more successful with regards to talking to people. And something that you wrote in here is like your ability to create a rapport.
Yes.
Right? And how huge that is.
It's massive.
So that's high school.
Yeah.
He goes off. He's going to law school.
Yep.
You are immediately, I'm getting into law enforcement right now.
Yes.
But there's some roadblocks.
Absolutely. So law enforcement in New Jersey, it's really tough. It's if you want to be a police officer in New Jersey, and I think this might be across the country depending on where you live, but it's a challenge. And I would apply for jobs. This is back in like 2000.
After the academy, you completed the academy.
No, I didn't even get.
You didn't even get into the academy.
I'm talking about just trying to get in.
Wow.
You can't even just get in.
I thought I see this. You learn. I just figured everybody could get into the academy. They're constantly looking for people.
There's guys fighting their way, trying to get into the academy, and they have to pay their own way. So they have to pay like $5,000 to $10,000 to go to the academy for 6 months with no income, no job.
Yeesh.
So you pay $10,000 or $5,000, whatever it is. It's called the alternate route program.
Okay.
It's a great program because it gives officers an opportunity, but it's a lot of sacrifice. So, just to get into something like that, you might have, back in my day when I was first trying to get in, I was 400, 500 people for one spot.
Wow. For one spot.
Yeah, and the whole application process takes about 6 months to a year.
Wow.
So it was tough. It was a tough road. I tried. Didn't get an opportunity in New Jersey. That's what brought me down to Washington, D.C.
Boom. There it was. Yeah. That small city right there.
Yeah. It was. I got an opportunity with the Metropolitan Police Department of Washington, D.C. I worked at the 4th District, and that's where I started my career in patrol, in the lion's den of a major city law enforcement, which was eye-opening.
That's insane.
To say the least.
I've got to picture something in my head, but you're this young, 1-day-old police officer. Yeah. I'm assuming at the 4th District, that's a major district. These are all that's what people are vying to get to.
Yeah.
They're veterans. They're all what is that kind of like?
So, it's a culture shock. Number one, I'm from Morris County, New Jersey. Now I'm working in Washington, D.C. So it was one of the best things that could have happened to me in my career. And I say that because it put me in a community that was far different than where I grew up. And because I had that experience and I was down there, now I can relate better when I'm dealing with people or building rapport with people. I've seen what it's like and from my eyes as a police officer, to live in these in certain areas that maybe are a little bit more violent from when I grew up, maybe less privileged from where I grew up. So, I come across with empathy in patrol. I think that's a very important word, empathy, compassion, is I think that's what helps break through to people.
Sure.
Right?
I mean, some of these guys are robbing a convenience store to eat, right? Because otherwise they're not eating, and it's a sad situation because obviously you can't steal.
Yep.
But they're doing it to eat, right? It's not like they're doing it, as a gang of whatever, like having fun or doing it for bad money, whatever it was. So I'm assuming
you're 100% right. And you see what is the opportunity in that area, and is this opportunity the same with what I had? I'm going to say in certain situations, no. Right. So, but that's where I got my start. I was in patrol. And
you were in like some insane unit. You guys, like an award-winning unit. What is this?
Yeah. So,
did you just get lucky to get into that, or you created that?
No, I didn't create it.
All right.
I got lucky. So to back it up a little bit, officers, when they're going through the academy and they're getting exposed to all these different units, and you see the SWAT team, you see K-9 unit, right? And a lot of police officers are like, oh, I want to be a K-9 officer. Right, that's just cool. You get to hang out with a dog, you know what I mean? Hang out with a dog. I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just, it's just,
God, I guess police officers kind of lonely these days, man.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But then, or like they have the SWAT team, and you get to all the equipment, and so it's very intoxicating, right? Well, my first exposure to the Vice unit or crime suppression team was I was on a holiday detail. They brought us out into Chinatown to help with crime during the holiday season. We were still recruits, so they brought a bunch of recruits out into the streets of Washington, D.C. for 4 weeks, and I see this unmarked Impala just pull up, and 4 doors open, guys get out, they're all in plain clothes with tack vests, and they approach this rough crowd. I mean, an intimidating crowd. Mm-hmm. I would not have been comfortable approaching them.
You and one other guy we're gonna wait for some backup on this one. No, they go up there.
Yes, and I will say this:
badass and everything.
I'm not saying this to say that these guys were handling themselves professionally.
Yes.
Because there is this stigma that maybe that these officers were pressing these people out or just doing unlawful practices. No, they were acting professional. They were investigating a robbery that just happened, and they handled themselves professional. But the way they carried themselves, the confidence that they had, they just knew what they were doing. And I was like, wow, what is that unit? And they're like, that's the Vice unit. I want to be on.
Sign me up now. That's it.
Yeah, so that was my goal. Yeah. That was my goal in law enforcement, was to get onto the Vice unit, and started out in patrol. And it was a learning curve at first. But I surrounded myself with veteran officers that knew the job, that knew tactics and how to build suspicion and all these different things that would be necessity in crime suppression team or Vice unit. And I remember the first time I got a gun off the street, I got 2 guns, which was awesome.
Amazing,
right? So that was a big moment for me, and it was based off of a hunch that a veteran officer told me. He said to me, Russ, next time you go to a disorderly persons offense, which means like a bunch of people hanging around a block or a bunch of people hanging around a car in an alley, right?
Yeah.
When you get there, I want you to check the tires. And I'm like, okay.
This is awesome, man.
Why?
This is awesome. This podcast is going 4 hours. I hope you know. So, go ahead.
He goes, Russ, when
the tires.
Yeah, he's like, I want you to check the tires, and I was like,
Mission Impossible stuff.
In my head, I'm a young officer. I have no idea. I'm just trying to learn this out. Check the tires. I'm like, what does he want me to write? Like a bald tire ticket?
Right.
What am I checking? Tire pressure?
Yeah.
So he's like, I want you to check the tires. He goes, they keep the guns on the
top
tires.
of the tire.
And I was like, really? I was like, it's like a stash location. I'm like, okay. So we get a call, bunch of people hanging out in an alley. It's me and another guy riding together, and the call was in a area that was known for crime. A group, there's a street crew that hangs out in that alley. So there was many factors that were leading me to believe that, like, okay, we're gonna get into something. So I remember turning to my partner and be like, listen, we're gonna get a gun today. I got this feeling we're gonna get a gun today. And as we go into the alley, there's this large group, and they're walking towards us. And then 2 guys start doubling back, and the group closes in to like give them.
They have tactics too.
Yeah, they have tactics to do like counter surveillance and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So they block our path, and these other 2 guys start walking away, and they start looking over their backs. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try to make contact with these guys. As soon as I start trying to make contact with these guys, they grab their waistbands and they're gone. They start running. So give chase, catch one of them. The other one gets away, but before he gets away, he drops the gun on the ground. And the one kid, I think he was either 11 or 14.
Oh God, that's
he
not
had-
what I was gonna.
Yeah, he had
all
a
right.
357 Python Magnum, which was like that big. The gun.
That's like 50 pounds, isn't it? I mean,
it's a
that's
big
what he's got in his sweatpants.
Yeah.
Like, what is he doing?
Well, no, he was wearing skinny jeans,
Oh,
and the
my-
gun slid down his pants.
Yeah.
And when I stopped him, the barrel was hanging out the bottom of his pants.
Jeez, man.
So,
It's-
but
what
yeah,
is this 11-year-old holding this thing for? I mean, that's
it's-
crazy.
again,
man.
opportunity, right? And
I get it.
you know, right now, a common problem that we're having in Montvale or other towns in Bergen and in New Jersey is all these e-bikes
Yep.
and everything, and kids not wearing helmets, and riding these e-bikes on the street that need to be registered and all that stuff. I mean, go to a different community and you have an 11-year-old or a 14-year-old with a firearm.
With a 50-pound gun. Yeah, right. I mean,
that's
it's a difference of
it's a difference of where you are. But I eventually, because of some other things that came into place, I was selected by my commander to be on the and my a guy named Sergeant Ross to be on the crime suppression.
That one we can shout out. Your brother, that gets deleted. But Sergeant Ross,
Sergeant
he
Ross.
got you into the Vice. Is that what it was?
Yeah, he was
There we
definitely
go.
an advocate for me to
Beautiful.
be on the Vice unit. And Commander Man Lapaz was my commander at the time.
There we go.
Was,
Couple of good shout outs
yeah,
over there.
Legends in the game of law enforcement.
Fantastic.
So that's how I got an opportunity to be on the crime suppression team, special missions unit for the 4th District.
Amazing.
Yeah.
How long did that stint last?
So that stint lasted almost about a year before I finally got an opportunity to come to Montvale, New Jersey.
You went straight from D.C. to Montvale? You didn't
Yeah.
just come into the... Wow.
Well, my last shift in D.C. was New Year's. And the 2 biggest gun days are New Year's and July 4th. Because instead of shooting off fireworks, you shoot off guns, right? I mean,
Yeah, sure.
I
That's
guess
what
why
we
not?
all think about.
So that was my last shift, and that night we got the 3 guns off the street.
Amazing.
And then 10 days later, I was in Montvale.
Wow.
So, but
I don't think you're getting 3 guns off the street in one day in Montvale.
No,
Thank God.
No,
I mean,
thank
let's,
God. It's a safe.
But I
safe
like you
community.
can't. We say this is a sleepy community, but stuff happens anywhere,
Yes.
and it can happen everywhere. Even though we're in a nice community, we're closer to not nice communities, and people
Absolutely.
sometimes want what you got up here. So,
Yes.
so stuff can absolutely happen. I don't have to tell you that, I'm sure. So,
No, in my class, I break down crime within your community and crime traveling through it. How do you identify crime within your community? And then how do you identify crime that's going to be traveling through it? Or what are some ways that you can be better prepared for crime that travels through the community? In Montvale, a lot of our crime travels through our community, right? We have a shopping plaza, we have businesses, we have all these things that can attract some type of crime, right? Might not necessarily be violent crime like homicide, shootings, and stabbings or anything like that, but there's other factors that come into play.
listen, it's the car thieves and all that kind of stuff. We know when we're on the list. Every one of our, I've had friends, their cars were stolen. Their cars end up down in Newark,
Yeah.
Every like 10 months, it's like, all right, they're coming up over here, and we're right off the Parkway. So,
Yeah.
oh man, unbelievable. So you take all this stuff, you got it, even just getting started in DC Patrol, then obviously your dream come true. You got device and all that kind of stuff and technology, and I'm sure major cities have much more technology than some of our little suburban towns and everything like that.
Yep.
The entire time you're formulating, man, there's something here, modern patrol methods, or is this something that just came on recently?
So I think it really started when I came to Montvale. Here I am, this big bad street crimes vice guy, right? And I come to Montvale.
On January 1st, you took 2 guns off the street like a badass, and on January 2nd, you had this little old lady that couldn't cross the street in Montvale. Right?
No, well, I'm going to put this in a little perspective
All
here
right.
because I came to Montvale and I was not good. I was not good at my job. And It was because I was just used to a certain way of policing, right? So in Montvale, a lot of it is traffic stop based, right? And in Washington, D.C., I was more of going out in the street and contacting people rather than like pulling over cars necessarily too much. So, and another thing was I was on a vice unit where it was 4 of us in a car, or
Right.
2 of us in a car, or 3 of us in a car. And now I'm by myself. Everything is dependent on me. I have a squad and I have guys to look to, but like when I'm out in the street and I see a car and I'm saying to myself, should I put that over? Should I pull that over or shouldn't I? Nobody's in the back seat saying, yeah, let's pull it over.
Right. You don't have that, guy giving you confirmation or not.
So you're a lot of it is you're relying on yourself to make these decisions, and I had to adapt. So I will not to take credit away from a small town. Small town policing is very hard. It's
so different.
It's so different.
Everything
They're
is
hard
different,
in their
yeah.
own ways, right?
Yeah.
They're hard. City policing is hard in one way. Small town policing is hard in a whole nother way. So the one benefit of my company and what I'm trying to produce is that I'm coming from experience from a large city and a small town, and I've been successful in both.
Right.
So
Well, I mean, I think you hit it on the head, man. Just realizing when you got here, God, I have a lot to learn. The fact that you can admit it's like, I sucked here in the beginning. How long have you been in Montvale now?
I've been in Montvale for 9 years.
9 years,
Yeah.
right? And to admit that your first, little while, they're like, I got to learn this. There's something to
Absolutely.
learn here. I don't want to
100%.
suck.
Yes.
Because you probably could have been the same sucky guy, I guess. I didn't pull that off. But, that wouldn't have helped anybody. It wouldn't have helped you. It wouldn't have helped the community. It wouldn't have helped the people that you're around. So I think that's huge that you did that. And now you've got all the years of experience to put something like this together, which is, universal.
Absolutely.
Very
absolutely. Cool. I think that's a big part of it, too, is that, having the motivation, right? So much in law enforcement right now is, look at what we're seeing on the news right now. What's going on in L.A.,
Yep.
Law enforcement versus the community. Well, and it's a shame. I don't associate myself or know any cops that are against the community.
Right.
They want to work with the community.
These are not
right?
or verse things. These are it's law enforcement and the community
Yes.
against these criminals or against these people who are acting in a certain way. Paid actors now we got to worry about trying to incite violence and stuff like that. That's ridiculous.
Yeah,
Who would have ever thought? And I don't listen. Conspiracy theories that this is coming from the government or not, who doesn't matter. There's people here trying to incite stuff, and it's not us versus the community. It's us and the community versus these bad characters.
Yeah.
So
I think we need to support each other more. We need to, be vocal about it. Have these conversations. Law enforcement can't be afraid to have these conversations. I think in the past, I know personally, it's like self perseverance.
Preservation. Yeah.
Preservation, because everything you do in law enforcement follows you outside of work, right? I have a family, I have a wife, I have a daughter. I want to protect them. But I also want to be real. I want to have these conversations with the community. I want to come on podcasts, promote my company, and try to change the way law enforcement training is.
Yeah.
And in my own little way, I think it's great. I think there are a lot of great things about law enforcement training right now.
The foundation is there.
And honestly, to talk more about modern patrol methods, how I even took the leap, because I always had this idea that I wanted to do a training. I knew once I got a better understanding of how to small town police, and I got better in Montvale and started making arrests and seeing things and making connections with the community. A lot of community members have my cell phone number, and I tell them to call me if they see something suspicious or anything like that. And once I started, doing something different and seeing a result, I knew I had something. And then it wasn't until I approached a local trainer and I pitched my class to him, and he was like, "This is a great idea. You should do it." And that was like the confidence that I needed.
Yeah, that was the guy in the backseat saying, "Yeah, pull that guy over."
Yeah,
Right. Yeah.
He was like the the sparking gun. It was a light bulb moment for me to be like, you know what? Yeah, you do have something. Let's give it a go. And that's how Modern Patrol Methods was formed.
Freaking great story. I love that. Then, not only that, was it your first class that you wrote on here? Like you had the greatest thing within hours.
Yes.
The stuff that you taught was put to use and had a successful outcome.
Yes.
That was the first class you ever taught?
Yeah, my first class I ever
Bro,
taught.
that's insane.
Was at the Bergen County
talking
Police
about
Academy.
immediate results, man. That's awesome. Tell me about that.
So, there's a bunch of things that were awesome about that class. Number one, there's 42 officers there. It's sold out, first class, and there was officers from all over New Jersey. Big group of support. The reviews that I got were overwhelmingly positive, 5-star reviews. Everybody liked the class, and what they liked the most was the body cam footage. They liked being able to see it wasn't just theory.
Right.
This is
They're like, why are we wearing these stupid things? What a burden. Or like listening to the way I breathe, the way I talk. I'm gonna get freaking nitpicked. Blah 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 blah. Yes. No, you can actually use this stuff for really positive, right?
Yeah, and when you see like, okay, when I tell you that you should do this, and okay, now here's a video. Let's watch it in action.
Yeah.
Boom. This is why you're doing
immediate.
that.
Unbelievable.
Right? So it's creating that connection. I'm a field training officer in Montville. I was a field training officer in Washington D.C. So I have experience training people. So I wanted to take the best parts of how I train people and apply that into the class. So that was overwhelming. A positive response from the class was the body cam footage, and then it was just a great experience overall. I have another class, which is tomorrow.
Oh man, we got them right before the class.
Yeah,
is it too late for people to sign up? I'm gonna get this out this morning on Spotify. We can blow it up. So,
we have over 30 officers coming tomorrow.
Absolutely amazing. Still all from around all of New Jersey at this point.
All over
now.
New Jersey.
Awesome.
Yeah. And so they're gonna experience the class, experience what modern patrol methods is all about.
Oh, I'm sure you're going to fine-tune it every single time. You're going to get the feedback. You'll be like, okay, let's take out a little bit of this. Let's add a little bit more of this. And anything that's more practical.
And I think one thing that I'm trying to convey with my company is that law enforcement training needs to be taught, in certain aspects of it, needs to be taught by current police officers. Veteran officers have their place in training, and they're a wealth of knowledge. A lot of what I learned throughout my career.
The tires, bro. Come on, the tires. You still have to learn about the tires.
Yeah, so like you need these veteran officers training cops, but you also need officers currently doing the job teaching other officers, because that's what's important.
Yeah.
They're seeing stuff today that they can teach tomorrow. Right? And it's relevant training, and that is what I want. I want to get more instructors for my company. If anybody out there is watching,
there we go. This is what the podcast is for, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. We've got a need.
Yeah, if you're in the medical field, if you're in the firearms field, if you are in this community, schools, training with schools and stuff like that, I want to grow the company.
Oh, that's probably huge right now. School protection, of course, with everything that's going on. I mean, that's. You don't talk to an officer that was, policing 40 years ago about school shootings. That didn't exist then, right? So, they
started with like Columbine, really.
Correct.
You know what I mean, like that was when, and I was in middle school at the time when.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And
Stop making me feel so damn old. I already see it with my hair.
Come
on. Killing me right now. So, man, this is awesome, brother. I could listen to you for days talking about. I want to take the class. Can I take the class? Or you have to be a police officer.
I want to bring it to a civilian class. I want to have a version for civilians, because everybody is upset about what happened at Seaside.
Sure.
That I know.
Yeah.
Memorial Day weekend, everything that happened at Seaside, the stress that was put on law enforcement. So, shout out to that police department, Ocean County, all the police departments that helped assist them with what they had to deal with. Like, those conditions were insane to me.
Yeah.
And I think there's a training that needs to be had for citizens as well. What do you do in those situations?
Sure.
When there's stabbings, there's group fights, are you tracking your children on like a Life 360 app or something like that?
Well, how about like pre-crime you were talking about? Like, hey, we're seeing something, like, let's make a phone call. Hey, there's like a lot of people coming here right now, blah, 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 blah. Like, I'm assuming if any of those police forces had any knowledge of this, and then you put 2 officers there, guess where they're not hanging out?
Yes.
Right? As you said, you're a deterrent.
You're a deterrent. And I think, and that's why I'm trying to develop a citizen-based course as well that some people can take to get some knowledge.
Sign me up. I'm in. I want to know. You better put some of that cool stuff on there, though. Don't give me any of that boring.
Yeah, I'll try to integrate
throw a little mixing over there.
Some law enforcement stuff that behind the scenes stuff. But I think it's important, because I think people need to know, especially with young kids going to these events, going to these pop-up parties and all this stuff, and what parents need to know and to keep their children safe. And the community safe and working together. So
I think this is spectacular, dude. Congratulations on doing everything that you did with all your experience, and then now creating this. I really think this is going to be absolutely huge. Look at this guy.
This
Look
is
at this
Dr.
guy.
Pete.
I got tactical gear.
I got a
the koozie, of course.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm going to do without that, obviously.
So we just had an event. We're also looking to partner with the community. So if there's any community events out there and you want Modern Patrol Methods to show up, we have some swag that we'd like to give out.
There we
This
go.
is like a wristband that I wear. It says Modern Patrol Methods. Our logo is the tip of the spear. I don't know if you can see that, but
tough to see on there, but
it says
we can see it
Patrol
on
with
here.
a purpose.
There we go.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go. That.
Yeah, it is.
It's not as easy as it looks, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm a professional.
Hey,
I'll handle it.
This is a pretty good operation. I got a sticker for Dr. Pete.
Hey, man.
T-shirt and our soft hoodies.
I'm telling you, man, I'm going to get racked up. I'm going to look like a tactical squad. I'm going to be badass. I'm going to be like those 4 guys that got out of that car in D.C. when you first saw them, man.
Yep.
People could be drooling. Ladies and gentlemen, Russ Di Lauri, Modern Patrol Methods, absolutely amazing. You hear what he's doing, and I guess he's looking for trainers as well, so if you got trainers and everything like that, but he's also looking for community outreach and doing all that kind of stuff, and I think you're doing a freaking awesome job, dude. That was so freaking amazing. I love it. Awesome. On our next Local BizCast, I have Dr. Lori Nuzzi, chiropractic physician, just like myself. However, she did something spectacular. She got involved with the hospitals, and it's very, very cool. Right now, it's not something that chiropractors have done a lot of. I've been involved in some hospital-based stuff in the past, but she has done a phenomenal job, and she's bringing this to our local community as well, and it's very, very cool. So I'm looking forward to speaking with Dr. Lori Nuzzi on the next Local BizCast. But ladies and gentlemen, once again, Russ Di Lauri, Modern Patrol Methods, freaking amazing. Where do we find you, man? Where can we...
ModernPatrolMethods.com.
I mean, make it more tough. Make it more difficult. Really? Seriously?
Check out the website.
You got everything, dude.
Yeah.
You got the TikTok, the YouTube. Everything is Modern Patrol Methods. Nobody had any of that before?
No. So don't try to take anything else.
Don't worry, man. Yeah, you better get on it quick, dude.
ModernPatrolMethods.com. Modern Patrol Methods Instagram is what I'm really firing away on. Trying to get into the TikTok space, Modern Patrol Methods, and look out for a YouTube channel in the future, Modern Patrol Methods as well. So just come check us out.
Very cool, man.
Train with us.
Till next time, guys. Take it easy. Bye-bye.